This is
Oh, okay. That's fine. All right. All right. Welcome back to the Sports Pulse podcast, where opinions meet storytelling. I'm your host, Akin Taylor.
Joined by Tony Green.
And today we're going to dive into the moments of week 5 in NFL season, some major sports upsets in the world. Let's hype into sports and Saturday night football, Patriots versus Bills. Drake May had a breakout performance. Second-year quarterback was electric, going for 22 for 30, 273 yards, nearly flawless in the second half, completing 13 of 14 of 184 yards. Stephon Diggs' revenge game, back in Buffalo for the first time ever since he's been traded. 10 catches, 146 yards, 119 coming after the half.
Insane.
I mean, I'll probably start at that point first. How instrumental was Stephon Diggs in this game back?
I think Stephon Diggs made it an actual point to get vengeance back on his old team.
Yeah.
I know he was on Houston last year, but the year before that, and pretty much for most of his career, we remember him as a Buffalo Bill. So I think that him seeing his brother on the other side of the field, it gave him a sense of extra motivation. So I think that Stephon Diggs really he made it a real point to get nearly 150 yards. So he had himself a real good game.
I mean, that was against elite passing and defense, and the Bills were ranked number one. Can't really name an elite corner in that team.
Right.
Trayvon Diggs, not Trayvon Diggs. Tre'Davious White got cooked last night. I'm gonna be frank, but Ramondre Stevenson punching the two only touchdowns for the Patriots, and obviously Andres I might butcher this name. Andres Borealis.
Yeah. Borealis.
Yeah.
He went to my school.
Oh,
he went to UMiami. And he was a big role there too. Because I believe like a family member of his played in the NFL as well. So he had some hype behind him, especially for a kicker. But yeah, the Buffalo Bills, they definitely came out a little bit flat. And the Patriots took all of that momentum. I think that the Patriots are a real good team this year, and they actually have potential for the first time since Belichick.
I mean, yeah, 3 costly turnovers by Allen by himself, and then obviously they snapped their 14 home game winning streak, tightened the race in the AFC East.
Yeah, that's the Josh Allen experience.
Yeah.
He comes with a lot of pros, but he also has his cons. He's turnover prone at times, but at the end of the day, he's still a good, viable quarterback. But he just had a bad showing on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was a bad showing. Obviously, the amount of turnover that they had, it was very, very rare. I was watching the first half. I'm like, what is this Bills team that I'm looking at? This is not the same Bills team that came back and beat the Ravens in the second half after being down 20 points. But now let's hop to Monday Night Football. We had the Jaguars. Now the 4-1 Jaguars beat the Chiefs in a fantastic game. And they were down 14-0 after the first 2 drives, but Trevor Lawrence was absolutely brilliant on his 26th birthday, delivered a clutch performance, passing for 221, touchdown, and interception, but dominated the game running the ball. It seemed like I was watching Clemson Trevor Lawrence on that night last night.
Well, it took a little bit more time than we thought it would for Trevor Lawrence, but it looks like he's coming along well now. It's always sweet to see the Chiefs lose for me, especially. I'm sorry to all the Swifties. But yeah, for sure. And then I think that Travis Hunter is actually making a good name for himself on the offensive side of the ball. I know a lot of people thought that he was going to be mainly a primary defensive back, but I think that his athleticism is being used wonderfully as a receiver.
And then obviously they also have other key aspects on that team. The Jaguars, you have Trevor Etienne, Brian Thomas, and Travis Hunter looked like a fantastic duo last night. I think 89 yards for Brian Thomas, about 70 for Travis Hunter. He was fantastic last night. Do you think he can build up this performance on the offensive side of the ball going into next week?
Travis Hunter, yeah, most definitely. I think we're seeing him get more and more comfortable week after week. And I think that catch that he made, I think it was like 40 yards, and he leaped into the air. His athleticism was fully on show there. So he has the whole kit. He has the whole pack to be an actual good receiver. And I think him being on the offensive side of the ball is what's going to make him more money.
Yeah. I mean, he's an elite athlete. I mean, he can do both across the field. I mean, look like Deion Sanders out there.
Right.
But I would say on the other side for the Chiefs, do the Chiefs kind of look like a team that's kind of tired? Obviously, they're now 2-4. They got their only win, the first win against the Giants, and then last week it was an okay win. But this Jaguars game, it kind of showed maybe that they're not the same Chiefs team that can maybe reach the AFC title game. But last time people said that they go on a massive run and they reach the AFC title game again and in the Super Bowl somehow.
Yeah, like you said, you can never really count the Chiefs out, but they do look pretty bad this year.
Mm.
I think that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, their relationship just isn't clicking as well as they have for the past 8 years at this point. So I think that the Chiefs are actually in trouble, and especially with teams like the Patriots. I honestly can't tell you. I
Yeah.
honestly can't, especially the Patriots, the Bills. The AFC is actually looking pretty tough this year.
Yeah, I mean, now talking about AFC, I mean, we're gonna talk about your team, the Ravens, getting absolutely stomped out.
Do we
40.
have to?
I mean, you can mention it a little bit, but 44-10. I mean, they lost to the Texans. I mean, no Lamar, no spark without Lamar Jackson. Cooper Rush threw for 179 yards, 3 interception. The offense was stagnant, only managing a total of 207 yards, which is like high school numbers. But to their credit, I mean, they had so many injuries. Kyle Hamilton out, Marlon Humphrey out, Raekwon Smith out. So I mean, the defense was super, super vulnerable. Um, but I mean, the Texans just took advantage of that. From what you saw in this game, even despite the injuries, um, they're down now. Now they're 1-4. There's only been 10 teams out of 126 to start 1-4 and make the playoffs. Do you think, regardless if Lamar is back, I would say probably Lamar will be back next week or the week after. Can they make a big run to the playoffs?
To be honest, I think it's time to just pack it in. Um, Shador Sanders could have been on this team as well. They went and they got Cooper Rush, but I think Shador Sanders could have stepped in and did a much better job than 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But that defense is still a problem. I heard that they're projected to score. They're projected to let up 600 points this season.
Mm.
Insane. A culture that's built on defense, letting up 600 points in the season. They've let up 40 points 3 times this year already. We're only in week 5. It's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, it is ridiculous. Even with the caveat injuries. To be fair to them, I mean, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey. Now I've seen Nani Matty BK's out for season. Like they have so many injuries to all their key guys. So I guess that's a bit of an excuse. But looking at the Ravens schedule, they have the Rams next. Then they have the Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, and then Packers and Steelers. Looking at that schedule, Rams probably an L. You probably agree to that. Bears, I mean, Bears look good offensively, so that's probably another loss. Dolphins, I would say a win. Vikings, another great defensive team again. They look good against the Bears. Browns, elite defense. Jets, I could say that's a win. And then the Bengals, Steelers. We don't know what their quarterback situation would be at that point for the Bengals. Will they have Joe Burrow back? And then the back end. I mean, Patriots, like we said, they look fantastic against the Bills. They look like a legitimate threat. Packers, Super Bowl contender for them, and then obviously Steelers once again. So it's going to be tough sledding for them, especially I think this season. I mean, they had a fantastic year last year. I mean, you have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson, you have, like I said, Marlon Humphrey, you have Kyle Hamilton, you have Roquan Smith, you have all these guys, but now you're just wasting their potential for the next 2-3 years.
The thing about the Ravens is they always lose when they're not supposed to. They could be 4-1 right now, with the exception of last week. Well, this past Sunday, because Cooper Rush was out there, but they're 1-4.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just so mixy. You don't know exactly who you're going to get out of the Ravens. Typically, we see a consistent Lamar Jackson in the regular season, and then we see Derrick Henry, who's mostly consistent. But this year just hasn't been that. And the defense just hasn't showed up at all. So I think they really should just pack it in. There has to be some changes in the front office. Maybe you got to get a new coach in there. I know Harbaugh has been Lamar's, what can you call him? He's his ride along buddy.
Yeah.
Like he's been there his whole career. He's believed in Lamar his whole career. So I think we might have to actually get away from Harbaugh.
Yeah, it's so hard to get rid of a Super Bowl winning coach, but obviously we've seen, like we talked about off the pod, like NBA coaches that have won NBA finals. I mean, next season if they have a poor start, they get immediately cut and fired. But do you fully believe that they should fire John Harbaugh?
I do. The last time we've seen him really be aggressive has been 2019, After that, he's been a lot more conservative, and I think that's hurting Lamar. I think that's hurting the rest of the Ravens and the receiving core, and it's hurting us from attracting star receiver talent as well.
Mhm.
So I think that something really has to change there.
Hey, let's talk about another upset that happened in the college football world. Number 9 Texas taken down by unranked Florida. I mean, Arch Manning struggled again. I mean, 16 of 29, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks, sacked twice in the final minute, including a sequence that ended Texas comeback hopes. The offensive line was absolutely horrible against Florida, 6 sacks. I mean, it's horrible protection. DJ Lagway on the other side for Florida looked really, really good, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think this is probably the main overlying question about Texas in social media now. It's did they overhype Arch Manning? I feel like it's not just Texas. I think the college football world, just because of his last name. Do you think Arch Manning got a bit too overhyped by the media?
Yeah, I would have to say so. You know, rightfully so though. Nepotism is a real thing, even though he isn't either of their sons. But Eli and Peyton are really good quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Yeah,
So naturally, you're gonna think that Archie Manning is going to be the next coming of that, especially with his last name, because he studied under that tutelage. But the truth is that it just hasn't been that.
yeah.
Archie, this is his first actual year starting, and we're seeing why.
Yeah, I mean, that Ohio State game is abysmal too. They only lost that game 14-7. He threw for 170 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He just looked lost completely against Florida, another elite level SEC opponent. Um, Obviously, the last man Manning is going to be compared to his uncles. He's compared to Peyton and Eli. It's a bit unfair for him, but I think after this year, he should definitely stay another year in college. There was a lot of projections of him going top 5, like in pre mock drafts, to go to like the Giants or the Saints, whatever. I think that's dead in the water completely. Um, Look at other quarterbacks like John Mateer for Oklahoma. He looks really good, but he's hurt. And then I don't know the full landscape of the quarterback room, but there's 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 gonna be room for improvement for him next year. I think after this year, it's gonna be a struggle bus for him, but I think next year will be the prove it year for Arch Manning.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be. He has to really show something in order to get drafted because honestly, right now he's not looking too hot. But on the bright side of things, DJ Lagway is looking like he looked last year.
Mhm.
He had a great showing. He threw one interception, but he looked confident in the pocket still. And I think that they found a real receiver in their true freshman, Dallas Wilson. He had a great showing as well. And him alongside Malachi Tony, I don't know if we're seeing another iteration that we had last year where it was like a Ryan Williams versus Jeremiah Smith race. Those
Yeah,
are two great true freshman receivers, and Malachi Tony is only 17 years old still.
crazy. Now another upset that happened this weekend. You have Alex Pereira recapturing the UFC light heavyweight title, being Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev was unbeaten 14 fight win streak dating back to 2018 was his last loss. Pereira lost his first fight with Ankalaev by unanimous decision and was thoroughly outclassed. But this time, Pereira just dominated and obliterated him in 80 seconds after dropping him with a right hand and brutalized him with elbows. I would ask you, what how did you watch the UFC this weekend, or
I
do
saw
you see
highlights.
highlights?
Yeah.
What do you think about that performance? Obviously, Alex Pereira is one of the biggest stars in the UFC. For him to recapture a title is huge, especially going to next year with their new Paramount deal.
Yeah, I think Pereira is very dangerous for anyone at any time. It doesn't matter who it is. Is if he stays on his feet, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
80 seconds, a knockout. That guy's power is unbelievable. His precision is unbelievable. And I think he just walked in there with the mindset that I can take this guy. He didn't care about his wrestling. He came forward, he stood his ground, and he just completely dominated, outclassed them.
yeah. Made his adjustments from the first fight. Obviously, the first fight was a bit strained for him. Fighting Ankalaev for the first time is a weird opposition for him. Dominated him in the second fight. Now the UFC have another star in their hands with Aspinall. Maybe they can have Tom and Aspinall versus Alex Pereira next year, super fight.
Right.
And then Ilya Taporia has been, I mean, put himself as the face of the UFC. So going to the Paramount deal next year, it's gonna be huge for the UFC. Now we could talk about LeBron's decision, not LeBron's decision. Well, LeBron's decision part two is it was a bit of a troll.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a Hennessy ad, which is a bit annoying. I think most of us thought it would be referencing maybe this is his last year. Even regard of disregarding the ad, what would you what would your synopsis be for LeBron if this is his last year?
I think this is the best career of all time. I think that 23 years of greatness is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think we'll ever see something like this. The only time we've seen anything like this has been with Tom Brady, and that's a whole different sport. A guy that has to run up and down the court, play both sides of the court for 48 minutes is still productive at the age of 41. Was sixth in MVP voting at the age of 40. Insane.
Yeah, it's mental.
I know people are going to bring up, oh, he's 4-6 in the finals,
Yeah,
but come on, how did he get to those finals? He lost to dynasties. With
Yeah.
the exception of the Mavericks, he lost to straight dynasties, the Spurs, the Warriors.
I mean, when you look at his accomplishments, 23 seasons, like I said, 10 finals appearances, 4 championships, 4 MVPs, most all-star selections in NBA history, all-time leading scorer, 42,184 points and counting to whatever he's going to add this year. I mean, his career average is 27, 7, and 7. I mean, it's
Not seen before.
yeah, it's crazy. Another player in the league, I think that might even, I would say the only player in the league that can even touch LeBron if he encapsulate what he's doing right now is Victor Wembanyama, who's, I mean, it's an anomaly. The dude's like 7'5" and has the skills of a point guard and to defend as a big man. I'll say this question to you: who you think will be that next star once LeBron leaves? Because we do have plenty of stars now. We have Luca, we have Giannis, we have Jason Tatum, who's unfortunately hurt. Who's that next face? Because there's multiple somewhat faces, but when you talk about the NBA as of now, it's LeBron, and everyone knows who LeBron is, that
Right.
worldwide figure.
I think that I don't to be honest with you, I don't think that the face of the NBA can be a foreign player at this point in time.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. So I'm gonna have to give it, despite the market, I'm gonna have to give it to Anthony Edwards. I know he doesn't want to be the face of the league, but I think there's gonna be a big trade, blockbuster trade that happens to a big market where he can actually capitalize off the type of player that he is because he's exciting.
Yeah, he is really exciting. I mean, you've seen the Adidas ads that he made this year. I mean,
Right.
he has that oral level of confidence that
That factor, yeah.
it does kind of remind you of Michael Jordan, that level of confidence he has against all the top players. He looked good this past playoffs, but obviously I think they are lacking that number 2 superstar alongside him. Julius Randle's good, but we don't really consider Julius Randle like an all NBA caliber like teammate like a Luca has with LeBron James or a Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, that type of duo. For him to elevate to that face of the league, do you think he needs to move from Minnesota? Because we've seen multiple superstars like Kevin Love, Kevin Garnett move from Minnesota to go win championships.
I definitely think so. It's just too cold in Minnesota. Nobody really pays attention to Minnesota. You don't hear about him until the playoffs, which he's in every year. But at the end of the day, it's like Minnesota is just too small of a market. He needs to be in LA. He needs to be in New York. He needs to be. I think he could make it in Atlanta still too, because he's from Atlanta. I think the whole city would just embrace him, and I think he'll really blow up there.
Yeah. I mean, for the Hawks with Trae Young and then Trae Young, that would be pretty cool. That would be sick
Nasty,
Adidas
yeah.
ads. I'm not gonna lie. Now to finally recap, we're gonna go through like we did last weekend. Not last week, last Tuesday and last time on the pod. Recap the NFL Week 6 now, which is, I mean, the season's going by fast. Broncos versus Jets. Broncos are 3-2. The Jets are 0-5. They're about to go 0-6.
Yep.
I think the pick is pretty obvious here.
Yeah, the Jets are going 0-6. Unfortunately, I grew up a Jets fan, but I kind of switched because we suck for so much. So like, yeah, we're gonna go 0-6. Unfortunately.
And talking about New York teams, we have Thursday night football just a couple days from now. We have the Eagles versus Giants. Obviously, Giants are out with the neighbors. They lost to the Saints last week. I think it's pretty obvious. Eagles win big against the Giants and East Westford again.
Yeah. Eagles are winning again. And a classmate of ours said this morning that New York has the worst franchises, and he wasn't lying.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking really, really poor right now. Cardinals versus Colts. That's an interesting matchup. The Colts, obviously, former Giant and Daniel Jones. That's a little I'm gonna say about it. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he looked like he's back in form. Cardinals and Colts. Who do you got?
I got the Colts. I think the Colts are another AFC contender. And I think that they're really good this year. And people aren't really paying attention to them because they're sleepers. They haven't been anything since Peyton, for real. But I think that this year might be that their year.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, offensively, they have it. They have the weapons. Dan Jones is playing phenomenal. Tyler Warren, the rookie's phenomenal. Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. I think they have they're a dark horse in the AFC. I wouldn't say they're Super Bowl favorites, but
Mhm.
dark horse. Chargers, Dolphins.
Chargers. I have to give it to the Chargers. The Dolphins have been absolutely abysmal, and they just lost their number one receiver. So, yeah, Chargers.
All right, Patriots versus Saints.
Patriots again. I think that the Saints are absolutely horrible. And I think at this point in time, we just have to be honest. And the Saints haven't been that good of a franchise in years. So I have to give it to the Patriots.
Browns versus Steelers.
This is a tough one, actually. Both teams are sneakily decent. I wouldn't give them good, but I'll give them decent. Um, I would have to say that the Steelers are going to come out on top because the Browns just don't have it offensively, and I think that their rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel, I don't know if he has the poise yet to really overcome AFC rival like that.
Mm, I think I might pick it up. So I think I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think their defense will get them over the hump against the Steelers, who have been struggling offensively with Aaron
True.
Rodgers. Cowboys versus Panthers, another interesting matchup.
Yeah, this game is just mid. To be frank, the Cowboys and the Panthers, both teams are uh, mid to bad, but I would have to give it to the Cowboys. The Panthers haven't shown me much this year. They haven't shown me much in years, so I'd have to give it to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll give it to Cowboys. Even though the Panthers are home, they might sneak out upset, but I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys. Seahawks versus Jaguars. Seahawks just came off a fantastic game with the Buccaneers. Now they're playing the Jaguars, who are at home with a bunch of momentum, beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think this is going to be actually a really good game. Two franchises that aren't really historically that good, but I think that this year the Jaguars will come out on top in this game against the Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I think they get the upset win here with Sam Darnold. Obviously, Travis Etienne's a phenomenal running back, but he looked stifled against the Chiefs. Jackson Smith-Jigba, I mean, him and Emeka Ibuka are probably the best receivers in the league. Tight, tight. The Rams versus Ravens. 1-4 Ravens. If they have Lamar back, do you think they can win? Or
No, I'm still going to have to give it to the Rams. I just don't think that defense is going to hold up at all, and I think that the Ravens just need to pack it in this year. They just have to cut their losses.
Titans Raiders 1-4 matchup? Who you got?
Um, this is going to be an exciting game for the fact that we get to see the rookies.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think, yeah, Ashton Genty versus Cam Ward. I think that's going to be an exciting matchup to watch. But I'm gonna give it to the Raiders.
yeah. I mean, this is
Yeah,
it's a tough. I'm so 50-50 on it. I guess I'll give it to the Raiders. They're at home. They're a bit of a
yeah.
better
Speaking
team.
of the Titans, did you see how crazy that game was against the Cardinals on Sunday?
No, I did not. I mean,
Uh,
Titans are a rough team to watch.
there was a touchdown where Cam Ward threw a pass that got deflected and then got intercepted, and then the Cardinals fumbled the interception. They
uh,
had possession, fumbled the interception into the end zone, and then the Titans player recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown.
that's a Titans way to win the game.
Yep.
Bengals versus Packers. Bang.
Packers. Yeah, the Bengals don't have anything.
Yeah,
Just being quite frank there. I'm gonna have to give it to the Packers, and Jordan Love is gonna he might have a 300 plus yard game.
yeah. I mean, the Bengals they looked abysmal without Joe Burrow. Give
Right.
me the Packers by 30. 49ers Buccaneers. Another interesting matchup.
Mac
4-1
Jones has
teams.
been playing magnificently. Baker Mayfield has been playing magnificently.
MVP level Baker.
Yeah. So I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna have to give it to the Buccaneers just based off of the fact that the 49ers are a good team, but I'm still not really believing the Mac Jones hype. Baker Mayfield, I'm sold on though.
I mean, the way Mac Jones looked against the Rams, I don't know. I
Mhm.
think I think I might be sold. I might pick the 49ers. I think Christian McCaffrey is one of the best players in the league when he's healthy, and he's healthy now. Now we have the Lions versus Chiefs. Chiefs trying to fight back after losing that game to Jaguars. Now they're facing a tough Lions team at home in Arrowhead, which last time they played the Lions, they lost.
I think that the Lions are gonna come out on top convincingly. I think that this team, yeah, I think that this team is just is ready to make a real run for the in the playoffs.
And then you have two Monday night games to end off week 6. We had the Bills at the Falcons. Who do you have for that one?
I got the Bills. Yeah, pretty easy game.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't show up like they did last year, I mean, not last year, last game, I think they'll show up this game, put a defiant win on the Falcons. Bears versus Commanders.
I'm gonna have to give it to Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Hmm. I might disagree with you there. I think the Bears with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. I think that offense is firing on fire. I mean, that trio of wide receivers that they have: Roman Dunze, that Cole Kmet, and then who's the other star wideout for the Bears?
The Bears.
I keep forgetting his name. Roman Dunze.
Roman Dunze.
DJ Moore, and then obviously you have Tate McMillan. But that's going to be it. We are pretty much running out of time. It's 29th minute. Thank you guys for watching the Sports Pulse podcast. We'll be back next week. Thank you for listening.